Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Jack and Norma are on a road trip to see my brother in Texas. So I have the fortunate opportunity to get to be with you tonight. I don't often play my native flute, so if you didn't think that was special, it was very special. I'm going to read somewhat of a long section here from the book called A Basic Call to Consciousness. This is actually a book about a gathering of native peoples from all over the world that went to the Geneva Convention in 1977 to plead their case of the suffering they were going through at that time and the lack of respect or consciousness the world had for them all the way back then. And so where we pick up in the story, this is a true story. It's the night before they're going to give their presentation, and all the different leaders of all the different native nations around the world have gathered together in a circle to discuss, yes, Lord, to discuss what they're going to talk about the next day, and that they've actually just found out that, oh, am I still there? I am, okay. They've actually just found out that about half their time to give their presentation has been taken away to other delegates who want to thank them for coming. So they're a little frustrated. So this is where we pick up. There was a large circle later, and it was of all the delegations, North, Central, and South America, and one of the Lakota, Russell Means, was standing and speaking as he was slamming down forceful words, angry words. We had been discussing the agenda for the first day, how it was to go, how much time there was, who was to speak. There was in the room and among all of us the awareness of how much there needed to be said and explained and how important it was. Ours was a talking mission, a very complex one, and there wasn't much time. The first morning's session, where a large audience and much press participation was expected, would be a crucial one. We had just become aware that the NGOs, non-governmental organizations, the conference sponsors, had already scheduled several non-Indian speakers. "I'm sick and tired of this," Russell was saying, his arm extended, gesturing to the circle. "This is our conference. We came here for the first time to present our case to the world, and now we are told that we have to sit and give half of our time to some damn white speakers to tell us how nice it is to have us here." Around the room there was much nodding among silent faces. Others spoke out, mostly young men. Juan Condori, Amara from Bolivia, stood up. He too was adamant. "We've heard their speeches," he said. "All their polite words, all their empty words. No, I'm here for my people. I'm here to speak out, to tell what we are enduring. I don't have time to give." A couple of people had been working with the NGO committee, then tried to explain the situation. It was customary, they said, that the hosts and the other observer groups represented would give welcoming addresses. There were about 4 such groups. Young men, one by one, spoke again. They remained adamant. One spoke and then another, and as they went along listening to each other, you could sense the rising circle of uncompromising anger taking hold. "No," they were saying, "all this is from the enemy. We are here to speak, and at least let us do that well, and in that let us not give an inch." One of the Iroquois chiefs stood up, a quiet man, soft-spoken. "Let us not forget," he said, "that we are here as guests. In our own land, we would not treat people this way. If it is the custom for these people to also speak, let us allow them their words. It doesn't seem proper that we should travel halfway around the world seeking sympathy for our cause and then begin by insulting those very people who wish to hear us. He sat down. Again it was quiet. Many were nodding. One of the younger men stood. "If they want to hear us, then let them hear us," he said. "But don't let them start by stealing half our time." People laughed. Other young men stood up. Once again the anger. Young men seemed to feed off each other's anger and thus grow strong. The NGO representatives, in pretending to moderate, began to catch the hostility. It didn't seem right, and somehow it also seemed necessary. Strong arguments on both sides, and you could sense the separation beginning in that room. The way that in an argument people lock into position and speak as if in different languages and begin to forget. Kwakirakan stood up. He is a tall, thin man with long braids. He was there as a spokesman and representative of the Kainakak, a Mohawk settlement in the Adirondack Mountains. There was in the room by now some apprehension and that sort of expectation within an argument when a new speaker is watched carefully to see which side he will support. Kwakirakan spoke casually. He said that he too was a young man and thus a warrior. Then he told a little bit about Kainakak, the kind of pressures that community had endured in the last 4 years of its existence. He spoke about the feelings one got from living continually in a defensive stance, not knowing on many evenings whether the morning would bring an assault by the state troopers or a few shots from some rednecks. Then he spoke about the importance of those strong feelings. "These young men," he said, "I understand them because they have been the ones in the past few years who have had the task of facing the enemy." This has been their job, and as such it is their duty to be angry, to be suspicious. Were they not this way, they would be negligent. They would not be fulfilling their obligations to the people. "But where I come from," he said, "within the people that I come to represent, there are also old men and old women, grandparents. There are families, mothers, and there are little ones. And they also have viewpoints, feelings which must be heard and which we must represent here. That's what we are here for. We represent the whole people, not only the warriors, not only the angry feelings. This we must keep in our minds." Kwakirakan sat down, and around the room the people were quiet. It took a few moments, but then it seemed the anger had been focused, like the force of an argument had been appropriately placed in that room. Somehow the question of time for speakers that first day got resolved. It seemed much simpler then. (1977). And conversations have taken place like that for thousands of years on this planet. But what I enjoy about that passage, and which gets me choked up, is the respect for all viewpoints. The recognition that there are young warriors that go out on the front lines. But also the respect that there are those that sit and meditate and pray, and that all are necessary. But that you can't let anger fuel the discussion. It has to be channeled towards progress. Their case wasn't just a case for the suffering of Native Americans, it was the suffering of all creatures. And that was their presentation to the Geneva Convention. Not just about them, but the trees and the animals that live in those trees. And their point being that if we harm one thing, if we neglect one thing, all of us suffer. If one kind of people suffer, we all suffer. If one animal suffers, we all suffer. plant life suffers, we all suffer. It is a web we cannot escape. Even if in the short term we don't see the immediate results, when we rattle the web, we all feel it shake. I want everyone to take a deep breath and just shake off anything that might be holding you. Just let relaxation just fall over the body. Everyone has a part to play, but no one gets to tell you what that part is. Some are the warriors, some are the elders. It has nothing to do with age. We're going to listen to the sound of the bowl, and then we're going to go into silent meditation for reflection. Mostly to open up our intuition and that inner voice to speak. And so we're not looking to become blank, but we'll be looking to become so focused on the divine that we connect. If you do not have a particular meditative posture or position or practice, our goal is to sit with the spine straight, whether your legs are crossed or your feet are flat on the floor, whatever that might be. We're looking to have our shoulders comfortably back to open up the chest for easy breathing. Trying to find a center from the tip of the tailbone to the top of the head that allows a pure flow of energy all the way up the spine through the chakras of the body to release our dormant powers and to awaken our soul from this delusion. So I invite you to find that meditative posture if you have not done that yet, to bring your attention to your breath. And you'll know that we're coming out of meditation the second time I ring this bowl. After that, we will read the name of the prayer lists and take our offering. We are one voice. We are one breath. We are one heartbeat. One thought. One experience. One life. We are all an expression of the divine, out picturing a dream as a physical experience. There is no separation. There is only one. I'm now going to read the names from our prayer list while we continue to hold this healing space of mind, body, and soul. I invite you, if you have a name you would like to say aloud during this process, you are more than welcome to bring that name into this healing space. As I read these names, I invite you to see these people surrounded in healing light of love and peace. Ivan and Annie, Pat Workman, Jennifer Workman, J.J. Vallow, Ty Lee Ryan, Tom and Joanne Langley, Timothy Desiree Brown, Robert Davis Edmonds, Sarah Denise Edmonds, Jeffrey Kevin Edmonds, Rick Zeibel, Terry Ventresca, Jeremy Cyril, Jason Cyril, Josh Curtis, Brandy and Jim Hutchinson, Brittany Jamie Schuyler, Piper Patrick Benjamin Curtis, Jennifer Guillermo, Brandy Gamblin, Fred Baggett, Kai V, David Wu, Robin Harris, Margot, Sandy Spawn, Jennifer Workman again. are grateful that we've been able to come together tonight to share in this experience, not only with those sitting in this room, but with all people on this planet that took a moment just to be still tonight. Whether it was just in between a breath, or if it was a concerted effort to sit down and meditate or pray over a length of time. We have shared this space with many, and we're grateful for this connection. We feel the light and love of this connected consciousness bringing healing of mind, body, and soul to these names tonight. We see our third eye connected to theirs as a channel, as a conduit of healing blessing, going to them and to us. Because as we give, we so receive. We're grateful that Spirit moves in and through this process, and we've been blessed with this ability to heal each other and ourselves. And so it is. Amen and Namaste. Well, you will see the offering boxes mounted on the doors out back. So we will not be collecting a formal offering in here, but we will do it as you exit, mounted to the doors, next to the doors out back. We were going to sing our offering song, but I realized we don't walk around and take an offering, so we'd just be singing together. You guys want to sing the offering song anyway? Sandy does, so we're going to do it. It's coming.
Serve
So we have read that we are allowed to open up to our fullest capacity at the social distancing, which in this sanctuary we've counted out to be 70 people. So we can do 70 people for the first service and second service on Sunday. If you'd still like to guarantee yourself a seat at either service, you can email info@unityofboulder.com and request which service you'd like to be at, or you can call our phone number at 303-442-1411. Talk to Heather and she'll reserve you a spot. So we're gradually heading back into a world of sanity, I hope, as the scales pitter-patter around. All right, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming. And try to hold on to this feeling as you go out to the rest of your week. Have a good night. My pleasure.